Hey, I think it's time for another Jefferson nickel box hunt. Well, a couple box hunts. And of course, we're going to be looking for some nice Jefferson nickels. And of course, I'm going to throw some karma in here, and we wouldn't say no to any of those. That's been happening a lot lately. Of course, if these happen to show up, that's awesome too. We had one of them in the last one. And since that happened, I'm going to put even a little bit more of a karma train in here and just do this. Maybe even this type of nickel will show up. Let's go to it. Hi, it's Silver Chupacabra, Chupa, Jeff, however you want to address me. Just don't call me Ray J, or no, that's probably too old for most of you. Anyway, we're here to find some nickels, and lots of types of nickels. We're really here, of course, to fill in some holes here in our nickel collection here. We still have the same 6 that's been laying out here for, 6 months now. We're looking for those. We're looking for that one. And we're looking for those 3 key dates. And if on our way we tend to get some more Silver War nickels, that will be awesome. Even if the holes are filled. It would be cool if we found, sorry, I'm kind of kibitzing here, more of those. Be nice if we found more of those, like the one from the last box. That's nice 1903 Liberty V. And what the heck? I'm going to push this karma train. Shield nickels would not be turned away either. There's the box. I wonder what the top looks like. Hey, here's the top side of the nickel box. And as you notice, a couple rolls missing. I've actually had this out in the garage. Actually, I store all my coin boxes out in my garage. But anyway, this one's been open for a while. I needed to fill another box that I could take back to one of my banks. And, it's just kind of been that way. So we may stay with 48. I may just borrow from another box. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, I figure if I get a lot of Defiance, 48 rolls is perfectly fine. Let's check through here, see what we got. I'm seeing quite a bit of dirty coins, frankly. There's newbies here. Interesting. Some of the newer ones are looking kind of old there, but then you got definite new. And we could definitely have some older Monticellos there with some wear. Not bad there. I actually took my it's not a microscope. My piece of glass that you can see things up close that I can't think of the name right now. It's ridiculous. I took this thing and actually already looked at, hey, let's do this together. It's like a 60, could be a 5, could be a 3, could be a 2. It's hard to tell. But I mean, it does have that older portrait on it. Maybe there, but we've got newbies in there too. Of course, the deal is, we don't see any buffaloes there, and that's life. We're going to go to number 1 here first. Very interesting. Old and new there. Onward we go. Okay, 10 rolls in. I haven't had a dry nickel box like this in a long time, but it took 10 rolls to actually bring something in. Here it is, 1953. There are no semi-key or key dates for this, but DNS, it might be preferable. I don't know. Let's see if we get something here. Oh, yeah, that's cool. 1953 San Francisco. That is the end of this roll. We are on to roll 11. We're on to roll 13. So far, this continues to be very, very dry. Probably due for this, by the way. But the one thing I did notice here was that one sticking out of the corner there. Yeah, because 1942 had two types of nickels. They had, early on, they had what's called a type 1, just the regular nickels, made mostly of nickel and a little bit of copper in there. But then at the back end of 42, they were making them with silver. This does not look silver to me, but I have found a lot lately that kind of looks like this, so we'll just have to go with it. And it is silver. Wow. Very, very cool. I was not expecting that. That's a good find, especially with where we're not getting a whole lot right now. Quality counts. Very, very nice. Like it. Okay, roll 18 of this first box of the current nickel box hunt. And we've got our third find. 1946. Nice. Let's see if we have a mint mark to go along with that. Detail is decent. Definitely could be a D. Maybe even an S. No, it's going to be straight out Philadelphia. We'll check for that Henning notch real quickly. I don't really see anything going on. But I'll wait later. Anyway, 46 Philadelphia. Still a bit to go. Down to roll 19, and we've got another 1953 popping up. We had a San Francisco earlier. This is the fourth find, by the way, so far. Let's see what we got. What are the chances? It's another San Francisco. Wow. Well, cool. Hopefully this is a sign that stuff's picking up. Still on roll 19, and take a look what popped up. Although I'm not really very happy with the scratches there on the head, but 1951. Oh man, just one digit off that 1950. 51S would be a semi-key date. And I'm seeing decent detail in here. I don't know why it couldn't be. It is a Philadelphia. Cool. 1951. Very, very good find here at the back end of this roll. Yeah, we are on to roll 23. And we've got our sixth find of this box. 1957. Very common date. I actually think the Philadelphia would be have less mintage to it. Let's see how it goes here. Usually a D from where we're getting these. Yep, Denver it is. Cool beans. Okay, on to roll 25. So halfway through this first box of the current nickel box hunt. This is actually a day after I actually unrolled this and whatnot. And the reasoning for this was that this was so caked up with, I don't know how else to put it, that it was hard to read the date, but I knew it was in the 40s, so I actually took the time to clean it up. And it is a 1949. It cleaned up pretty actually decent with warm water. No mint mark on this one, so we'll be 1949 out of Philly. We still have a little bit left in this roll to check out. Okay, we are on roll 30 of this first box of the current hunt. Remember, we do have 2 rolls missing out of this one, which is fine. I left this in the roll. See if you can figure out why I left this in the roll. It might be kind of hard to spot, but take a look at how thin that is. One of the most thin, if it is a nickel, nickels that I've ever seen. Could be foreign, I don't have any idea, but I mean, that's just the thinnest thing I've ever seen. Let's go ahead and pull it over. It looks pretty worn out, or at least over on here. Look at that. It's a V in the middle. I was not expecting that. We just had our second V nickel on the last box hunt, and take a look. I mean, this is worn to the nub, but the one thing that's sticking out is that is a V. It is a Liberty V nickel, or at least what's left of it. I'm wondering if the front is going to actually show anything. Oh, it actually does have stuff there. It's not quite as worn as the front is. Now, the date is down on the bottom, which is why I've got my finger there, but she's definitely been used. Let's see what we got here. Oh my, I cannot believe this is going to be in the 1800s. The Liberty V nickel went from 1883 to 1912. Well, 1913 for 5 lucky people. And I don't think that's actually allowed anyway. I would think this would be in the 90s at best, but we'll see. Oh my gosh, it's in the 1880s. I cannot believe this. It's going to be in the 1880s, and all the 1880s are actually, there's not a lot of mintage in the 1880s, which is why there's quite a few in there that's worth a little bit more. Oh my God. 1887. It's 1885 is the big date for Liberty V nickels when it comes to worth. 1887. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's in horrible condition. This wouldn't fetch much, but you don't get to see these very often. And the thing is, in my collection that I have actually paid for, I've got most of them except for the 1885, and I've got some that, kind of look like that. So, wow. It's still on roll 30 and still stunned after that Liberty V find. We do have another 1949 showing up. Now, I didn't get a chance to do this the last time because the other 49 I had to clean up. 49S is a semi-key date. This one's in, I would say, decent condition. Gonna see how Monticello's looking here on the back end. Pretty good. Could be. Oh, I think it is. Very cool. 1949 San Francisco, or out of San Francisco. Semi-key date. Very, very nice. You're on roll 33 of this box hunt. At the very back end, I noticed in the laid down roll part, it looked like there was a decently, it's got that patina kind of thing going on. 1948. Very nice. Now we got, I can't remember when we got the 49. I think that was the last find, was the 49S, semi-key date. Can we get 2 semi-key dates in a row? It's probably asking for too much. The detail was decent on the this has got decent, but I wouldn't call it magnificent. But mint mark is very possible here. It's just not happening. 1948 Philadelphia, folks. Very nice. Onward to roll 34 we go. Roll 34 of this box hunt. 11th find of this box is just hit there about the front of the end of it. This will be the third 1953 that's come up so far. I know we've had an S. I can't remember what the other one is. I think it was 2 S's actually. Well, let's see what this comes out to be. I don't think this is going to be an S on this one for some reason. There's a lot of wear there. D in this case. D for Denver. Pretty cool. And we'll have to do a lot to catch up to average. Average is about 20 finds. Of course, I'm a couple of rolls short here. But either way, what I've been getting lately, this is probably kind of a karma thing. Getting 38 finds in a couple of box hunts ago, and then 35 in that first box, the last box hunt. You know what? But, getting a lot less would not be the worst of things. Anyway, let's keep her going. Roll 35. I think this is 3 rolls in a row. We at least have something popping out. I noticed this in the roll itself. Looks like, last year, 1959. I say last year. Last year that I look at older coins, so to speak. Looks in pretty good condition, actually. Probably a D for Denver. And that is exactly what it is. Nice. So still have a bit to look at here. We'll bring you back in if something pops. Okay, so I know this looks weird with the gap here, but this is roll 39 that we're going to be looking at. And, this has been a pretty slow box, but the thing is, the quality is overarched everything. Getting an 1887 V nickel, are you kidding me? A 42 San Francisco Civil War nickel, then that 49S semi-key date. Of course, I'm segueing into, hey, guess what? We may have a find here, but it's actually going to be something. It's still in the laid out position as I kind of speed through this. Look at that. This is going to be the third box hunt in a row that I've gotten at least one Buffalo nickel. Take a look at that. Definitely getting some wear there. The rim on the top side there is wearing into the United States. Well, at least the of part. I don't know about America. We'll have to take a look here. And we do have a mint mark here too. That looks like a D to me. All the appendages are there, so that's not going to really be anything. But the wear tells me that this is going to be not in the 30s. It's going to be either teens or 20s. Doesn't mean it is, just I would go that way with it. So we're going to turn this over carefully, remembering that the date is down below. Oh man, there's a lot of wear there too. Will we get a date is probably the biggest question here. I believe we've got the 1 and the 9 there, although it's really hard to read. Do we have a date? I do believe we do. I think that's going to be 1927 Denver. We'll scope it to make sure, but man, I think has seen a lot of candy stores or whatever you want to call it. Man, that's a lot of wear there. Let's scope it. So here's the reverse. You can see the D pretty clearly there. I've already checked out the date. I'll put it up here because sometimes buffalo nickels just are not easily seen even when you scope it up too much. I think it's actually easier to see with the camera, but let's check it out. Okay, so here it is on the scope. Like I said, it's really hard to see. There's the 7. There's the 2. 19 is there. It's really hard to see, but you got your 7, you got your 2. 1927 out of Denver. Very cool to get a 1 in the 20s with a mint mark. Okay, on to roll 41 of this first box of the current hunt. And we've got the 14th find here. Right there. There we go, 1952. Pretty good detailed condition. A little schmooze there down on the collar, but hey, can't always get it good. Pretty good here. I think this is definite mint mark area here, maybe even an S. Oh, got sandbag there. It's Philadelphia. It's a pretty good. It's a Philadelphia in pretty good shape, actually. 52. 14 finds. That's actually done pretty well there. Once again, I don't think we'll get up to the usual marks, but hey, that's life. Okay, we are in roll 47. 3 rolls left. Not 47, excuse me. That would be 44, 45, 46, yeah. No. 45, 46. 45. That's it. We were missing 2 rolls for this one. So anyway, we've got 15 and 16 finds coming up here. In the roll itself, 1952 for the second time has shown up. In very good shape. We had a Philly show. Once again, I think on the Philly I expected a mint mark too. I'm still going to expect a mint mark here. Yes, sir. 1952 Denver. And then guess what? For the 4th time. Oh, not the right one. Still not the right one. There we go. Another 1953. Now we are a Philly away from the mint cycle. We do have a D and a couple of S's already. Let us see what we got here. It is. There's the cycle. Woohoo! It's always cool, and you can hit for the cycle on 3 minutes, not just 2. Still have the whole roll to go through. Okay, so there's the end of the first box. 48 rolls. We were able to get 16 finds, which is a little bit short of average, especially what we've been getting lately with numbers like 35 and 38. But that's all right, because it's the quality that really made this. Still have to check that one for speared one. As you can see, look at the 51, 52, 53. Very interesting setup there. A few in the 40s, but what's missing mostly is the 40s and 41s, which we usually get in abundance. These are the coins that made this trip definitely worth it. Semi-key date, 1949S. Silver War nickel, 1942, with a big old S. Pretty worn. A buffalo nickel, you might be able to see the 27 there. It is 1927. And it does actually have a mint mark. It has a D down there in the bottom. It is not, however, 3.5 legs. It's a full-on leg there. That would have been a cool find. And then the pièce de résistance. Like my French. The piece of resistance. That doesn't make sense. This is the piece of awesomeness. My oldest coin to date. 1887. I don't expect to ever get something older than this, but you never know. 1887. If this was an 1885, this would have been worth a couple of $100. That one is the one that's really rare. This one isn't too bad, by the way. In G4, it is worth $20. That is not G4 condition. I would say fair. I mean, that side's fair to poor. This side, yeah, you're looking at probably the AG at best. Not really worried about the money worth of these anyway. I think we should get a second box out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the enders. Okay, so here is the top enders for the second box. Let's go ahead and float away through there. I've, of course, already looked through it. I didn't see any Buffalo or V nickels or Shield nickels sitting up there. To be honest, I really don't see a whole lot of, maybe I might have one right there, some older, maybe that top left corner one there. Didn't really see a whole lot in the first box either for the enders wise, and yet I got 4 real quality finds. Not that I'm going to jinx it or anything, but I will be satisfied with those 4 quality finds, even if we go through this box and get zilch when it comes to quality. But we're hoping for quality. First roll is up to bat. What do we got on the other end? I would say that's like a 90s, 2000s head. That's all right. There's plenty more where that came from. There's 48 other nickels, or excuse me, 38 other nickels in that roll. First roll of the box, and we got to find. Now, usually I would not show these. We've already got a 57 in tow already. We don't need to show 1,001 of those. But since it's the first find, man, it's red. Those are my reasons. And it does have an obligatory D on the end. Very cool. It's find number 17, one of this second box. Roll 2 of the second box, the current hunt, and I just laid down this roll, and you can see the tone on this one. I don't think it's a silverware nickel, but I think it's at least old, and there's the proof that it's old. If it is a 3, 4, and 5, it definitely is silverware nickel. If it's just a 2, it could be either way. Oh, it's just 8. I forget that 46, 47, 48 kind of can do this too. Get this kind of orangish hue on it. Now, we had a 49, I believe. Let me recheck that. Yep. If you remember, that's a semi-key date. If you got an S on there. This one, yeah, the hair's got detail there. Everything's actually pretty darn clear. Whether it has an S or not, well, we'll find out when I unveil here and quit moving the camera so much. That's a lot of detail. Mint mark, it's got to have a mint mark. It is a Denver. Nice. I believe we had a 48 Denver earlier too. As you can see, we still have a lot to take a look at. Okay, we are in row 5 of this box set. I did find a 57D this a little while ago. But other than that, first off, take a look at this nice shiny 97. Normally I wouldn't even think about showing this, but this might be a proof. I don't know, or from a mint set. Proof, no, but mint set, yes. The thing is stellar. This thing has been in circulation, or at least for a little bit. Not much of a mark on her, to be honest. I really pulled you over for that one. Yes, that's right, folks. 39 it is. 1839, that is A3. This will be our oldest Jefferson to date so far. The deal is I need a D or an S for this. It's not a bad detail. It's kind of marked up here and there. Let's see what the back looks like. Remember, both the D and S are key dates, and they would be hole fillers. I mean, that's actually in pretty darn good condition for a 39 Philly. Okay, 6 rolls in, and our 5th find of the box is already here. So I guess we're going to get the quantity with this box, at least this first row of 10. It's another 1958. Probably going to be a D, which is more common than the Philadelphia. There it is. But still, cool find. Still not found a 56 or 40 and 41. Roll 15 of the second box of the current hunt and take a look what we finally got. 1941. Woo! Reworn. Do we have a mint mark to go with that? We do not. Philly. Very common date. Very worn. But we finally found it. Okay, we are in roll 24, and this nickel box just went cold. Very, very cold. What do we have? 5 finds on the first 6 rolls. We have 6 altogether, and we're almost halfway through this. Fortunately, roll 24 has brought up 1 at least. 1940, we were wondering where these were earlier on. We've got a 41 already. And now we've got a 40 San Francisco. I've been getting a lot of San Franciscos in the 40-41 range the last few box hunts. All right, cool. Found some. Okay, we are at roll 28. As I said before, I think we've had like 2 finds in the last... Where are we at? 28, so 6, 22 rolls. We do have something actually sticking out of the roll here, which we know we'll find. And this might be one too, but it's hard to tell. But definitely, it's a 47. I can hold it up this way too. Nice looking condition. No semi-key or key dates. If it is a Philly, it could be a Henning too. I can already tell you I do not see a notch up there. I believe... You'll have to forgive me, but my phone is out of energy, and I cannot see that. There is a mint mark there. It's either a D or an S. So I'll tell you what, I'll come back and you probably can see it better than I can. If it's a D, it's a D. If it's an S, it's an S. An S, it's an S. Cool. There are some other... I think that might be something too, but we'll have to wait here just a little bit. Still on roll 28. We just had that one find. And if you remember, I pointed to another one that looked like it had potential. The long national nightmare is finally over. Or at least one of them is. Let's go ahead, zoom in on this. Let's just continue getting closer and closer. Let's see what you see. That's right, folks. It says 1950. Unbelievable. Of course, I have 6 holes to fill, and both 1950s will fill it. The 1950D is the big kahuna of the finds for Jeffersons. It is a definite key date. The 1950 Philly with no mint mark is a semi-key date. I need both. It's taken me, a year and a half to finally see one of these come out with that 0 as the 4th digit. Unbelievable. It's pretty worn. It's got detail, but it's pretty worn in the hair area and the high points. Probably more Philly than anything else. To get a 50D, you're really expecting something in decent shape because it got left in from daddy's coin collection by some kid. Got spent on candy at the store or whatever. That's my old story, by the way. Anyway, we're going to turn it over. And I'm going to slow roll it, of course, as I usually would. Now, I like the detail on that part of it. That's actually looking pretty darn good. The big question is, will it have the D? And like I said, I'm not going to be disappointed either way. I need both. Oh, it is the Philadelphia semi-key date. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love it, I love it, I love it. We just filled a hole. We have not done one of those probably in about 8 months now, or 8 or 9 months. Very awesome. 1950 Philadelphia. Okay, on to roll 33 of this second box of the current hunt. After all the tumult of the 1950s showing up. 10th find is up to bat. And it's a 1940. A bit dirty, a bit Tony. Don't know what that means. I would say we were probably going to have a mint mark on those. That's pretty good detail. Dearness. D it is. Denver. Nice. Do not have one of those yet. We don't have a whole lot of. We've only got 140, 141. Well, now we have 240s. Roll 34 of this box sent. And just after spreading it out, we got a Canadian visitor. So our first foreign visitor. I don't know if I've had a Canadian nickel come out for the last 2 hunts. This one's in nice shape, by the way. 1994, remember, side to side. Da-da. Pretty scratchy, per se. Cool. Very, very cool. Roll 35, and we've got our 11th find of this box. Another 1941. I cannot remember. I think it was just a Philly that we got earlier. And let's see what we have here. Philly again. If that indeed was a Philly. At the end of roll 35, this was an ender. I don't know what was on the bottom or the top. 1946. Very, very nice. There are no semi-key or key dates with the 46. I would think we'd get a mint mark on this one, though, but no. Okay. If I remember right, yep, 46 is a Henning. Let's kind of just look for the notch real quick. I will weigh these later just to make sure. And I don't really see anything going on there. Okay, it looks like we are on roll 37 of this box hunt. And actually got a few maybes here. That's not why we're here, of course. We're actually here for this. We got another Canadian nickel. So we got our second Canadian nickel of this hunt. Let's go ahead and take a look at the obverse. I'm taking it. This is the obverse, by the way. An older portrait, I would say 90s. Right around there. Let's see what we got. 1994. And I believe the first one was 1994. I thought it was 95, actually, earlier, but wow. Okay, we are on the, well, not the last roll, but pretty close. We've got one roll left there. We're on roll 49. Really got dry here at the end. We did have a 58 come in, but that's probably been in the last, 14 rolls. We do have this one laid out, and as you can see, it looks like we've got another Canadian. This will be the third 5-center from Canada. We're going to flip it over and actually play that little game. We were very successful in this during the penny hunt, getting Georgia 6 to pop out. I do not believe that this is that old, but anyway, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Elizabeth. That might actually be 70s, I would say. Maybe we'll have to find out. It's really hard to do these. Coins don't seem to be centered very well. Okay. Not 70s, 80s. So 1984. Hey, it's not a 1994 like we've had, but that 4 is sticking in there. Okay, still on roll 49. We have our 14th find of this box. Looks like we've got another 1948 popping out. Yeah. Well, we know it has a mint mark at least. You didn't get to see which one, though. I wanted to kind of show you guys what it's looking like. Man, I would have said probably Philadelphia, the amount of where I'm seeing on there, but we already know it's either a D or an S, so let's go ahead and... S, by the way, would be a semi-Q date. And D makes a whole lot of sense there. Cool. We still have just a little bit left on this roll. Roll 49, if at the very end, we've already took it apart, has one more find. And we've got another 1952. This will be the third 1952. We've had 4 53s. This will be 3 of these. And this is some 52s, 53s don't come by that much. There are no semi-key or key dates. Not in bad condition. A lot of hair detail there. Nice little scratches there on the hair as well. The reverse Monticello is looking pretty decent. I'm guessing D, but could be wrong. It's an S, actually. Very nice. I don't know what the mintage is on that, but very, very cool. I don't know if that's the mint cycle or not. We'll have to check that out during the summary. That is the end of roll 49. 50 is coming up. Okay, so that is the end of this nickel box hunt. The numbers total were 31 total finds. That is one of my lowest of the year. However, the quality that I got out of this trumps everything. Pooey on the numbers. Quality always rules, folks. It's as simple as that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the finds. We've got a 1940D and a 1940S. A couple of 41s out of Philly. A couple of 46s out of Philly. We've got a 47 out of Philly. We have got a 48 out of Philly and 248 Denvers. We've got a 49 Philly, a 51 Philly. We did have the cycle for 52 and 53. As you can see, we've got one for all the mints. Philly, Denver, and San Francisco. 57. That's right, folks. We didn't get a 55 or a 56 out of this, and that's very unusual. 57 Denvers, 58 Denvers, and then 159. So not a whole lot of the usual commons that we got. Did get some Canadian nickels, 3 of them. I don't think I've gotten a Canadian nickel from the past 2 hunts before this, and here we are. A couple of 94s, that's interesting. And then we got an 84. Now for the big kahuna coins. Well, the 39 is definitely a common. And we did not get a mint mark out of that, as usual. But that's all right. 1942. That is, excuse me while I move that. Silver War nickel. 42S. And then we've got a 49 out of San Francisco, semi-key date. And then these three. Are you kidding me? Let's actually go here first. This is the least it's not even the least interesting. This is 1927. You can barely, I think, read it from here. And that is out of Denver, folks. There is a D-mint mark down on the bottom. This is a hole filler. Unfortunately, it's not the key date hole filler. It is the semi-key, but it's still the first time that I've seen 50 anywhere on a coin in, what, a year and a half of these? 1950. Unfortunately, not a D, but you know what? Fortunately, it's a 1950. I still don't know what to say about this. What is this doing in a nickel box? 1887. That is 134 years old, folks. And you want to see something that looks 134 years old? Take a look at the back. Almost entirely wiped. But you can see the V. Very, very cool. I don't expect ever to get anything in the 1800s ever, and there it is. My oldest coin to date. And then two other ones that are just as awesome. 1950 is probably the big one because it is a hole filler. Anyway, we will go ahead and take a look through there for varieties, errors, and then we'll go to the collection books. Okay, so we are now on to our collection books. I did look for varieties and errors. Nothing. I would say there was nothing there. There was one minor thing, and I don't really think it is what it is. So, all right, let's get to it. And this is going to be a proud moment, folks. I sat here with 6 holes for error here, and we're going to get one filled. Unfortunately, not this one, but this one is needed too, so boom. 1950 Philadelphia. Very happy about that. Now we have 5 holes left. Let's see how that goes. Nothing going on in the secondary one, and I do have a third one going in. The 49S semi-key date did go in. So that fit in there, and I think a 53S also fit in there too. That's getting filled up too, by the way. But anyway, we have our Buffalo Nickel collection book. And this was defined from this hunt, 1927. Fact is, I think you can, let's move that into the light just a little bit more. You can see that 27 a little bit better on the camera. Really up close, it's really hard to see. But anyway, very, very cool. Well, that is it, folks. Close this book up for you. That is it. I think Batman is done with this as well. I hope this was somewhat entertaining to you. I had a great time. That 1887 Liberty v. Nickel. You know, what can I say? Let's go ahead and bring it out here just for the fans. There it is. Find of the year easily at this point. A lot of wear. Anyway, no matter how much you watch this video, thank you very much. If you have any questions or comments, you know what to do there. There's a comment section for that. Everybody have a great week or weekend, depending on when this gets released. And we're done and out of here. Penny Box Hunt will come up next. Later. Cheers.